Bro. Welcome to #Wednesdays Weekly, a weekly information session in collaboration with voluntary sector and public sector partners. Thank you for joining us for today's session on work and skill support for Rochdale, Heywood and Middleton. The session will be hosted by Amanda, Vicky and Sarah from Rochdale Borough Council. Over to you, Amanda.
Just share my screen with you, hoping this works. Oh, no, that's not worked. Sorry, bear with me. Yes, has that worked? Can everyone see? Perfect.
Yeah, that's worked.
Yeah. I'll hand over to you, Sarah.
Brilliant, thank you. So good morning, everyone. Hope you're all well. My name is Sarah Pollard and I'm the Work and Health Officer at Rochdale Council. And alongside today, I have my colleagues Amanda Huntbach, Work and Skills Engagement Lead, and also Vicky Burgess, Work and Skills Officer. So I'm going to start today really with describing some of our collaborative work that we are currently involved in and how we work in partnership with organisations. So as a team, one of our main priorities is really creating hope and aspirations for our residents. And as a team, we're really passionate about this. We have our single access point, which Amanda will talk about, and also our Facebook page, Get Rochdale Working. And it really gives our residents a clear line of sight of all the opportunities that are available in the borough and also the local area. We also provide skills and training advice, so provision, so enable people to be ready for life and work opportunities. And obviously Vicky will talk about this in a lot more detail a bit later on. We also have a calendar of sector events where we promote different career paths. So just recently we did a personal assistant in care event, and in June we're also doing a teaching pathways, so working closely with Hotwood Hall College. So within these sector events we work in partnership with various local organisations to deliver them. We also support programmes in the borough as well to ensure that they meet the needs of Rochdale residents. So for example, we're currently supporting the Work and Health programme with complex cases, and we also offer support to participants that may be just about to exit the programme to really ensure that they've got that continued support. We also promote additional training to key workers, so whether that's strength-based training, coaching techniques, or any help and advice about local provision. Another major area of our work is really planting the seed of work and training, so having those work conversations. So if anyone is working for any organisations where this is an appropriate question, then as a team we have lots of experience and lots of knowledge about this, and we can support with your training needs. Sometimes it can be a really difficult question to raise without seeming judgmental, so we can support you build trust with that individual that you're working with, how you can link work to aspirations and how they can respond to barriers as well. We can also support you to identify any opportunities to raise the work question, and we can deliver training on understanding the benefits that good work can have on a person's health and well-being. Also promoting programmes and pathways. So we currently have a work and skills newsletter that goes out monthly to around 300 different local organisations. So it's a really good platform for us to promote local provision. So any organisations that would like to be put on the mailing list or would like to promote their service, any sort of good news stories, then please do contact us, and the contact details will be at the end of the slides. So I'm going to pass you over to Amanda, who's going to discuss the single access point in more detail. So thank you.
Thanks, Sarah. So we do have a single access point which is available for any of our residents who are 18 plus, regardless of their circumstances, in order to have a conversation about work and skills. It might just be a conversation to look at the opportunities that are available to each person. And as Sarah said, we do aim to raise hope and aspirations with each individual that we work with. We have a motivational conversation about their current goals and future goals and how to get there. We conduct a holistic assessment which with each individual to talk about their specific circumstances. So we talk about every aspect of their life to make sure that we're looking at all the support needs that the individual has. We're completely impartial, it's confidential, so we talk through all of the options that are available and what's best for that person. So we don't affiliate with any service particularly or training provider. We look at all of the options, make sure it's right for them. So we can look at things like one-to-one support via our unemployment programmes. This might be in person post-COVID, or it might be over the telephone. This can also be flexible according to the needs of the individual as well, because sometimes people prefer to talk to us via phone, via email, or in person. We can look at different health and wellbeing support that's available, access different levels of training courses that Vicky will talk about shortly. We might just talk to somebody about their CV or their application forms, interview techniques, or making sure that they're claiming all the benefits that they're entitled to. So sometimes financial situation can determine whether people take a certain job or don't take a certain job, or they might not be aware of the training that's available because of their financial situation. Another part of our work is around engaging with our local employers. So we have around 7,000 businesses in the borough, and we work with our employers to look at their recruitment needs, opportunities that are available, helping to upskill their current workforce, which allows more job opportunities within their organisations and opportunities to progress. So we therefore link these opportunities back with our residents and hopefully keeping everything local and supporting both our businesses and our residents. We can also, when we've mentioned the employment programmes, so Sarah's just briefly touched on these and the names of some of them. So here are some of the programmes. So we've got Upturn, JETS. Some of these acronyms, don't worry about, it's easier than saying the long word and everybody knows them by these names. We've got Possibilities, Motivate, Work and Health Programme and our Pioneers Programme. So these programmes all vary and we hope that there is something for everyone across the borough, regardless of situation, if you're unemployed and looking for work. Some of them aim to support you into work sooner rather than later, and some of them are more a long-term plan. So not to worry if you're thinking about work in a year, 2 years, 5 years, we can look at what that support looks like and make sure it's kind of a structured support for you. It's really important to us that it's about the right job, not just any job. And these programs focus on that and working towards your strengths. So the specific support available for our individuals who might have recent criminal records, might have mental health issues, might be long-term unemployed, you might have never had a job, or you might have recently become unemployed due to the pandemic. So we can also look at one-to-one support for people who are setting up their own business or have recently set up their own business. So you might come into contact with people who just need that extra bit of support, and that's what we're here to do. We do have support as well available for our employed residents. So people tend to think that once they go into work, there's no support available for them. But we've got quite a lot of support in relation to health and wellbeing, might be off sick from work, might be struggling in work and on the verge of going off sick. It might be that you're looking to upskill and access things that within the workplace in order to look at the next steps, look at the next career. And we do have specific support as well for certain areas of the borough. So what we do when we talk you through things, we talk through every element of your life to make sure this programme is right for you, you meet the criteria, and if not to worry, because we're always looking at filling gaps, looking at extra support, looking at different programmes. So this is just an easier way to see how our single access point works. So when you come into the team, you can come in via email, you might come in via our Facebook group, which I will talk about in a moment, but all we need is very basic information. So individuals can self-refer and just drop us an email, or if it's an organisation that is referring someone, we only need a name, contact number, and to know that you've gained the consent of that individual. And what we do, we'll contact that person within 5 working days and talk through all of their needs to make sure that we appropriately signpost or refer, and we support that person to get onto that support. So what you can expect from us, a friendly member of the team to have a chat with. It's very person-centered, the conversation, so no 2 conversations are the same. The advice is impartial and we will contact you within 5 working days. We do try a number of different ways. So if we do have a mobile number, we can ring, send a text, send an email. And if not, we'll always go back to the person who did refer, if an organisation did refer, to make sure everything's okay and that we had the correct details. Our Facebook page, we launched this just over 12 months ago, and we're now at 7,500 members. This is a great platform for us to share information with our residents and businesses. So if you as an organisation want to put some details on there, you're more than welcome to send them over to us. I will share an email address shortly, but all we need is your most up-to-date marketing information or a description about your service, how they can contact you, and we can get that put on there. So just to give you a bit of information, so 7,500 members, 1,000 comments and reactions per month. We do assist employers with recruitment, so we do put opportunities on there where the CVs will come directly to us and we will sort them out rather than applying to the employer. We have a bit of a schedule, so we'll put hints and tips, job vacancies, health and wellbeing support, our supported employment programmes and training courses on the Facebook page. And we do put ad hoc information on there as well. So lots going on, there's lots of interaction, and it's a great way for us to engage with our residents. So I'm going to hand you back over to Sarah now, who's going to go through our youth hub.
Thanks, Amanda. Yep, so we also have a really comprehensive youth offer as well. So firstly, the Rochdale Youth Hub, which is for 16 to 24-year-olds. And really the priority of the Youth Hub is to support young people in the borough to access training and employment opportunities, as well as linking in any additional support and to address any barriers. So we are open to any referrals from our partners. So just to give you an idea of where we've had them previously, so DWP, so the Job Centre, housing associations, the youth service, and also various voluntary organisations. We do run this in a very similar fashion to the single access point that Amanda's just explained. So certainly we can have name, contact details, any consent gained, any support required from partners, or you can also self-refer into the Youth Hub. We have 2 advisors that work on the Youth Hub, and very similar to the adults, they will carry out an holistic needs assessment, so identify any support needs and offer training around coaching as well. In terms of obviously the support, the advisors will help the young people access appropriate provision. So in terms of support, we work really closely with a wide variety of organisations. So it could be someone like Rochdale Connections Trust, where they help us with learning mentors. We also link in with any organisations that can offer support with housing, health issues, or any debt advice as well. For skills and training, obviously Vicky's going to touch on this in a little bit, but certainly young people can access various training courses. So that might be the Prince's Trust, obviously adult education budget. And in terms of progression as well, we're kind of looking at apprenticeships, traineeships. It could be work experience. It could also be voluntary work. So if you're working with any young people that you feel could benefit from this programme, do refer in, and it is the same contact details as our single access point just explained previously. So please do support us with this, excuse me. One of our progression paths of the Youth Hub is also naturally the Kickstart scheme. So just to give you a bit of a brief background on Kickstart, it is a national funded scheme, and it is designed to create high quality 6-month paid work experience placements for unemployed young people between the ages of 16 to 24 that are all claiming universal credit and are at risk of long-term unemployment. So it's really exciting. Rochdale Council, we've successfully applied to be a host employer. So this year we are committed to providing 30 plus Kickstart placements across a wide variety of services in our organisation. And where possible, we are supporting priority cohorts, which does include care leavers, which do have to be claiming universal credit. All our Kickstart placements are additional new positions that we've created, so we're not replacing any existing or planned vacancies in the organisation, and we have some really exciting opportunities for young people across the borough. So just to give you an idea of some of the roles that we are recruiting, so just in case you are working with any young people that would be interested, obviously admin, customer service roles, really popular at the moment. We've got some trainee project support roles, and we've got some school support roles, trainee classroom assistants, we've got digital roles, roles in the library services, social media communications, we've got some park assistants, and then later on this year we're recruiting for some positions that will be helping with the town hall refurbishments, taking us into 2022. So really exciting roles there. And for every placement, we have a real comprehensive package of support for young people. So that includes workplace wellbeing, we have a buddy scheme, and we also have support from the Youth Hub, which I've just previously mentioned. We have bespoke training for every position where that young person can gain qualifications, employability support, transferable skills, and we also have learning mentors. We're going to have the opportunity for young people to network as well. So that's not just with other young people on that scheme, it'll also be helping with their professional network as well. And then in terms of progression, again, we're looking at apprenticeships and traineeships. So again, some really exciting opportunities there. So thank you. I'll pass you over to Vicky, who's going to talk about training.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Thanks, Sarah and Amanda. My slides look relatively straightforward compared to those, don't they? There's lots of exciting things going on, obviously, across the borough. And our team are doing lots to really support all individuals that need to think about making their next steps, whatever that may be, into training with additional support, or just gaining skills and confidence to think about moving into maybe a voluntary position or work. Often that involves doing some formal training. It doesn't always need to be qualification based, it could be skills based. There are lots of opportunities, and my role really is to try and find training providers that will really offer the residents of Rochdale what they need to move on in their journey. There'll always be a standard package of training, and we'll talk about that through these next couple of slides. But as organisations yourself that make referrals for people, if you feel that there is a gap in the traditional offer that Rochdale has or has had in the past, and you feel that there's something that the people that you work with really need but you can't find support for, please feel free to contact us at Jobs and Skills. That's absolutely within my remit to go and have conversations with training providers to say, great what you're doing, but this is what we need, can you provide it? So I'm more than happy to have conversations around that. But as a standard, there is lots of training provision across the borough, delivered by a variety of training providers. English and maths, it's fully funded for anyone who doesn't already have a level 2 qualification or above. So anybody that has left school for whatever reason without these basic skills, they are entitled to access training for this. And we can offer support around that as well. People learn differently and people learn at different times. So it's not judgmental. If you need to access those skills, there's lots of provision out there, and we can talk to you about the best one that you'd like to access. Digital skills and IT skills are becoming increasingly more valued now. And as lots and lots of services move on to social media platforms and online platforms, it's become really apparent that people need support with it. So absolutely, we can find training around digital skills and IT skills. They're very different, and we'll talk about that a bit later on. Digital skills and IT skills are different, but it's available, those are available for most residents across the borough. We then have something called the Adult Education Budget, which is a pot of money that does what it says on the tin. It supports the education of adults in the borough. It's available to anybody that's 19 plus and claiming a benefit, or if you're in work but earning less than £18,135 to be specific, you can also access training through the Adult Education Budget. There's a wealth of organisations delivering it, and we'll talk about some of those on the next slide as well. There are traineeships which are aimed in the main to people who are 16 to 18. There are traineeships available for older residents, but they come with some caveats. Traineeships really are about supporting people who haven't had any work experience and really need some support, perhaps just in understanding getting to work on time, attending every day, support in what you do at lunchtime, reporting to the right people, and workplace behaviours in readiness perhaps for an apprenticeship, which is more around earning and learning at the same time. So an apprenticeship involves being in a workplace and earning a wage, learning the skills that you need for the trade that you've accessed, but being shown it's not a work placement. It's not a job as in you're expected to know everything. It's very much a supported program to help you learn the skills that are required. Apprenticeships are open to all age groups. I think there's a bit of a myth that apprenticeships are for young people. Actually, that's not the case. There are lots of people across the borough and indeed across the whole of GM who are accessing apprenticeships as adults. And apprenticeships can be at even at degree level. So people think of them traditionally as something for young people. It's a much broader offer now, and there are some great opportunities, and lots of them do appear on the Facebook page, so that it's worth looking out on that Facebook page. Next slide, I think, please. Thanks, Amanda. So digital inclusion, as we spoke before, is not just about spreadsheets and emails. It's really more than that. And during the pandemic, it's really highlighted the divide amongst residents. If you aren't digitally connected, then it's really hard to shop online. It's really hard to communicate with your wider family using things that some of us have taken for granted during the pandemic, like Zoom and Teams and Skype meetings, or even just doing a WhatsApp call. If you haven't got those digital skills, you might not even be aware that those are available. So there is lots of support around this across the borough, and it's done through a variety of voluntary organisations. There are community champions, there are organisations that work with our over 50s, there are organisations that work with our young people, there are organisations that will just offer some buddying up support, and we can put you in touch with all of those people. Residents across the borough really need support in accessing services, but also need to understand how to stay safe online. It's very easy for people who are used to working in an online way, but if you don't understand the pitfalls of some of those services and understand that people often share their passwords with people just because they're the friend next door and oh yeah, I'll share my password. People need supporting with that and to help them understand how to stay safe online. There's lots of support available again for that. Indeed, there is a digital library available. It's something that's been in the making for some time in Rochdale, and lots of organisations have come together to try and make this work. And it's been available on a small scale for maybe 6 months, but actually just recently it has been scaled up, and I'm delighted to say that from the 19th of April there will be IT equipment for loan through the library services in Rochdale. Our new digital coordinator, Michelle, who is joining us on the 12th of April, will be responsible for this, and referrals for kit will have to go through Michelle. Her email is on this slide. It's DTL, it's not fancy, it's the Digital Tech Library at rochdale.gov.uk. So anybody that wants to make a referral for any of their clients to borrow some kit can do so through that email. Michelle will then arrange to talk to that individual about what kind of support they need. It might just be that they need some loan equipment, and she can arrange for them to go to the library and collect the equipment. Fantastic. But for some people, they might need that additional support around staying safe online, or about getting in touch with family, or they might want to look at some comparison websites to arrange some car insurance, or they might want to look at who's offering the best fuel service in the area. Whatever that person's need, the idea is that that digital coordinator will be able to make that assessment and either support them herself or refer them on for further support to the right organisations who are dealing with those groups of individuals. So it really is a fantastic network of support, if you like, that will be coordinated by Michelle. Anybody can make a referral through that email, but it will be the coordinator's decision about where they'll go to pick up their kit, how long they can have that kit, dependent on what they need, because there isn't an infinite amount of kit, so it'll have to be carefully managed, but we'll do our best to help everybody that might need that support. Digital inclusion is going to be huge for people. As more and more services move online, it just becomes more and more apparent that more people will need support with it. And we recognise that lots of people don't have time to do that with their customers because they're dealing with other things that they've actually been referred to at the initial point of referral. So please feel free to make your referrals and let us help with that point of it. If they then need some further support from the single access point, we can make a referral to another member of the team so that they can pick up and help them work through employment skills and job opportunities. It's all there to be a rounded experience to get your customers where they need to be. Well,
Okay, thanks, Vicky. So this is our ask and offer. So we ask of you to have the work conversation with any individuals that are accessing your service, signpost them over to us. We're really passionate as a team of helping people, talking about goals, talking about if you had a magic wand, what job would you like to do, if anything was possible. And we want to help people see that those goals are achievable. Please signpost people just to have a chat. There's no pressure at all. We're not targeted. We want to genuinely help people to move forward and access whatever it is that they need to do that. Good work is good for your health. There's lots of research about this, but it's about the right job, and it's doing something that gets you out of bed, that gets you going, that gets you passionate, and it doesn't feel like work then, and that's what we're all about. So our offer to you is we are friendly, we're a great team, we're really enthusiastic. We'll contact any individuals that you refer over or that come directly to us and offer the relevant support. We won't just signpost them onto anything. So we'll promote any opportunities that you share with us. If you're looking for volunteers, if you're looking for any paid employees, if you're wanting us to promote your service, maybe you need some help with social media marketing, if we can help by putting that out there, getting you some more followers, getting you some more likes, we'll happily do that. We're really passionate about our borough, about our services, our businesses and our residents. So want to say thank you very much for listening today. If you've got any questions at all, please contact us via this email address. It's jobsandskills@rochdale.gov.uk, and we'll be more than happy to help you.